हाय एवरीवन, दिस इज अर्श गोयल। आई एम बैक अगेन विद येट अनदर अमेजिंग वीडियो। तो आज की वीडियो में हमारे साथ होने वाले हैं करण मशरू। ही हैज रिसेंटली गॉट a full-time role at Paytm. He is currently studying at SVNIT Surat. So we'll talk with him regarding his experiences of how he was able to grab this amazing opportunity. Along with that, he also started his YouTube channel. We'll talk about his YouTube journey, why he started with the same, and I'm super excited for this particular podcast. Let's start this with a brief introduction of Karan.
So, hello everyone. Hi, Arsh. First of all, thank you for this opportunity. And so, yes, myself, Karan Masru. I am a final year engineering, computer engineering student at NIT Surat, and I have received a full time offer from Paytm as of now. And I also had an experience of 2 months working as a software development intern at Decimal Point Analytics. Other than that, I also have a YouTube channel where I upload content related to coding, placements, and some podcast related also. And yes, that's it. I also play a bit of lawn tennis.
Great, great, great. That's super amazing to hear. We'll start with a bit about you, what you have, like how you started with this programming journey. Like were you a student having a background of coding when you came into your college, or how did it all start? I would like to know more about that.
Okay. So basically, what happened? I don't know the current scenario, but during our time, as you might also be knowing, first year we didn't used to do much of the things right related to placement. So after the first year, we have a club ACM NIT Sugar. So they host summer, you can say 1 month long competitive coding challenge that is specifically for the first year to introduce them to the competitive programming world. So that is when it all started. After my first year during the summer break, we had this amazing challenge, month long challenge by our seniors. And yes, from at that point of time, I started using the Hackarat platform, and from there the journey continued.
So we'll come to the entire preparation strategy, how did you, what all things you focused upon, which all resources you had. But I would like to quickly go through the entire process of Paytm, like talking about starting from its online coding test and then different number of interview rounds, which are some of the important topics that were focused on for Paytm, so that it can be helpful to for somebody who's sitting for Paytm's interviews in future.
Right. So yes, so as always, Paytm had its online test, and it was a DSA test, right? There were three competitive coding questions, and I think they focus on array manipulation, and you can say they focus a lot on linked list and pointers. This is what I have experienced from their whole, you can say, journey, whole process. Then after clearing that, there was the three questions for 70 minutes, and then there were two technical rounds and one HR round. Then yes, that was it. Then in detail, if I come to the first technical round, again, as I said, I think they focus a lot on array manipulation. So there were questions related to array, right? And one of the things which I learned during that interview was, you know, they give you some array and ask for some output, right?
Yeah.
Now they'll let's suppose they'll say, okay, what's the time complexity and what's the space complexity of your solution? You say, let's say time complexity is n square, space complexity is O of n. Then they just make up the question on that spot. Okay, can we do in n log n? Can we do in space complex with a constant space complexity? So that is one thing I realized at that point. And one important advice with respect to that, I would say, even if you are 99% sure that it can't be done better, don't jump directly to the conclusion. Think a bit about it, because then it will show your flexibility, right?
Yeah.
So that's the one thing. Similarly, talking about the second technical interview, again, array manipulation, linked list, they focused on that. And I was also asked to explain my project, during which I did during my internship at Decimal Point Analytics. And yes, that was the second technical interview. Again, in that, at one point of time, I was stuck in a question. So when you are stuck in a question, don't say I don't know or like that. Better if you have a basic idea, ask them. Ask them, sir, can you please help me? Or ma'am, can you please help me? So that is one thing I will definitely mention, that you should do that, and always don't directly jump if they ask us suddenly a question.
Mhm.
That will not show your flexibility. You should, it will show your open mind if you think a bit about it and then come to a conclusion. So those were the two technical rounds, and then HR round was also a quite good one. Actually, till now, what I've experienced to HR rounds, uh, there are some HR who are experienced one, so they don't ask you the standard questions like what is your like short time goal, what is your long term goal,
Mhm.
what is your weakness. They'll catch your resume and catch a point. So you need to be ready at that point. Like
Yeah.
if you are a YouTuber, and if I ask you that if after 2 years you reach 1 million subscribers and you earn a lot more than the software development job, then what will you do? Now, at that point, you need to convince them that you will stick to this for so
Yeah.
and so reason. Because there are definitely advantages and disadvantages of YouTube, and
Mhm.
advantages and disadvantages of the software development regular job. Yes, so for HR, if you get a experienced HR, then you need to be very careful by answering.
Yeah, like as you already mentioned about the interviewers being helpful, so definitely it's a good practice. Like the more we converse with the interviewer, the more helpful they are. So it's
Right.
definitely like if you're going in some wrong direction or we're using a very different approach. So definitely
Yes.
it's very good to ask the interviewer, and definitely they're there to help. And they're just coming to select the candidates and not to reject the candidates, as it's already said. So
Yes, definitely.
that was really good. So now that was the process, and it
Yes.
involved majorly your data structure algorithm skills and your
Yes.
programming skills. So talking about you
I
particularly.
sorry to interrupt. One more thing. They also asked some technical questions regarding DBMS and OOPS.
Okay. Okay.
And one more thing which I would like to mention, I had not prepared OOPS. So I said I don't know, but having said that, if you are at such a point, I would suggest you also add that I'm open to learn.
Mhm.
So that will
Definitely.
also show that you are open to learn.
Yeah.
Yes. So I forgot the DBMS and OOPS part.
No. Okay, okay, cool. So, like, talking about majorly, like, the major focus of the interviews were your data structure algorithms,
Yes.
and
Right.
maybe some part we can say about DBMS or about your projects in general. So,
Yes.
when we say data structure algorithms, so which all resources did you follow, or like you mentioned about that coding event that was conducted by your recent chapter? So, apart from
Yes.
that, like in your second year and in your third year, so how did you prepare? Which all competitive programming websites you have been working upon, or like what were the resources that you consider as the best for preparation?
Definitely, there are so many resources, right? But for me, what I consider, I have prepared from HackerEarth majorly, the preparation part, not the competition part. And I think the distribution of topics is given very well on HackerEarth. So if there is some beginner who do not know, what are the all topics, how to search a particular topic on a platform, HackerEarth is one of the best platforms where you can see the four sections: basic programming, data structures, algorithms, and math.
Yeah.
Having said that, there are also division among them, like topic-wise division. And the theory given on HackerEarth is very crisp. It is neither less nor too much, detailing and all those things
Mm-hmm.
like there are in the books. Along
Mm-hmm.
with that, they have also provided the code for all the algorithms. So I think HackerEarth is one of the very good platforms for beginners. Having said that, topics like graphs and DP cannot be directly learned from theory, right? By
Yeah.
reading article or something for majority of the people. So for that, I saw the videos on MIT Open Courseware. There is one playlist called Introduction to Algorithms. In
Mm-hmm.
that, there are dynamic programming and graph videos. So I watched them initially twice or thrice, and then I quite got an intuition of how things are working. And for dynamic programming on Geeks for Geeks, you if you search for dynamic programming on Geeks for Geeks, there is one section called basic problems. There are around 106 problems. If after having knowledge of theory, if you practice the first 30 questions, even if you see the solution, no harm. But if you practice the first 30 questions, you will get a very good idea of how dynamic programming is working. That
Mm-hmm.
intuition is very necessary. Right. So I would say these are the platforms or sources from where you can learn. Other than that, for competition point of view, I use two main platforms, CodePoshes and CodeChef. And I also have a 5-star on CodeChef, just to add.
So you also mentioned that you started with your own YouTube channel, and so how did the idea of starting a channel came into your mind, and like what all things you do on your channel?
Yeah, so basically I started in 2018 when I came to the college. At that time, many educators were emerging on YouTube. So I said,
I would like to mention about their different programs that they have opened up. If you are currently a software developer or you're looking forward to become a very good software developer, they have opened up their new category known as career as a software developer, where you will be getting some weekly shows in which you can understand different things, like all these pointers like cracking top brand tips on technical and interview rounds, how to join big brands, how to improve your CodeChef profiles, interview of top tech leaders and folks who made it big, architecture breakdown of popular apps, understanding the hiring processes of different companies. So these are some of the topics that these shows will revolve around, and different people from industry and academia are a part of this particular challenge. You can check out their website also. On their website also you can see there are a lot of people who are currently taking their courses, like you have people from all fields, and different types of shows are there. You can check out any of the course and you can see different episodes are listed, like different project reviews are there, like these are the courses held every week. So this can be an amazing opportunity. There's one such show known as Beating the Odds, in which we discuss about different things like MNCs versus startups, like which you should prefer for, what are the different tech communities available in college, should you join them or not, how can you build your projects and make them better. So all these things we are concluding in this particular opportunity. Definitely if you're looking forward to just evaluate the worth of this plan, and it costs you rupees 999, you can use my code ARSHG to get a 10% discount, and you can purchase this subscription for 890.
I thought, okay, I can do something like that. So I started with JEE Mathematics. But soon I realized that it was not possible to maintain both and in a quality manner. So then I kept changing things, topics, and all those. And finally, at present, I upload content related to coding, some placement related things, and some very few of the podcast with startup people or some sports person and like that. And at present, my major focus is to upload in a structured way all the Google Kickstart solutions right from 2013 to 2021. There are near about 200 questions, out of which I have already uploaded 48 questions.
Great.
And the pattern of explaining is like, as you may be able to see the board behind me. So I explain the theory and concept used in, and I provide the solution code in the comment.
Great.
Yeah. So the target is to upload all the Kickstart solutions. So as of now, that is the target.
Now, great. That's super amazing. I'll give the link to your channel also in the description for viewers to go and check out. Also talking about like we've discussed about your preparation journey, we've discussed about the process. Now coming upon to the final piece of advice that you would like to give to somebody who is aiming at cracking such roles. So what would that final piece of advice be?
Sure. So, but if we talk about 1 or 2 points in each of the preparation steps, then for a beginner point of view, some of the mistakes I want to point out before that. So some of the things which I see is, for example, I didn't prepare for aptitude. So don't do that mistake. If you do not prepare for aptitude, you will miss out a majority of the fintech, financial tech companies, right? Only DSA will not work out.
It's puzzles are also asked in fintech companies. Like many companies ask puzzles in their interview round. So definitely it's something to
and you need practice for that. So first thing is that. Second is, if you are a beginner, do development work and competitive coding together. Because once you master or you become a little good in one thing, then it's difficult to start other thing from scratch. So do both of these things together. And the third thing is, in the initial stage, don't give so much time to competitive coding competitions. Rather, give it to preparation. Right. For example, if you participate in 40 coding competition on code courses, right? Now, out of that, if you have not covered a lot of topics and you are a beginner, you will not be able to solve more than 2 questions. Your rating is not going to go up, right? Rather than that, it will be approximately 80 hours or 80 hours plus time. Give that initial time into practice. Practice it, and then once you cover a good amount of topics, then jump to coding. Then jump to competitive coding competitions. Yes. So these are some of the things. And in an interview, don't be hard. Like this thing or this thing. Be flexible, be open, ask for help. Yes. These are the things I would suggest.
These advices will definitely be of great work to somebody who is listening us right now. Thank you so much, Karan. It was great talking to you. I hope the session was very insightful for people who are looking forward to sit for the process of Paytm or any other product-based company in general. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you. Thank you, Ash, for giving me this opportunity.